Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome, man. Welcome to Beyond Classic Rock. Today, featuring the music of a band called the Fabulous Rhinestones. This is a complimentary quad, and we are starting off with Freewheelin', followed by Go With Change, followed by Positive Direction, and finally, Free. So, man, before I pop this off, I just want to give a shout out and a thanks very much to Vernon Miller. Vernon, thank you, man. Thank you very much for the recommendation and providing the links. Fabulous Rhinestones, and thanks for introducing me to something new. I've never heard of these guys and or ladies, and yeah, so looking forward to checking them out. Thanks for the links provided, but I'm not seeing a lot of information here at all. There's a brief little bio from AllMusic, no Wikipedia information, so we'll just have to wing it on our own, man. So with that, let's start with the first track, that being Freewheelin'. Okay, so you gave me the whole album outline, and so I just got to kind of, alright, so Freewheelin' starts from 0. Alright, Vernon. Where does it end? Same with Go With Change. Go With Change starts at 7, but where does it end? Alright, I'll just have to listen. Okay, give me the ends, man. Alright, so Freewheelin', the Fabulous Rhinestones. Let's get it. That organ in the background. It's such a feeling. Freewheeling. So big a chin up on the floor. We're gonna get up and walk out the door. I got the car outside and the motor is running, just waiting. Sexy sax in there. It's such a feeling. Freewheeling. So big your chin up off the floor. We're gonna get up and walk out that door. It's like no place we've been before. Don't have to worry about nothing no more. Oh, sweet baby, here we go now. All right, man. So that's the Fabulous Rhinestones and Freewheelin'. All right. Good sounding band, good musicianship, excellent use, man, of the sexy sax and the organ. And I can imagine them. I was visualizing them putting on a pretty good show. I always go through this mental exercise when I'm listening to somebody new. All right, we're probably listening to their studio sound, but what would they be like live? And I'm visualizing that these guys would be pretty damn good live. I mean, good studio sound all the same. Crisp, clear vocals. You can understand every single word that he's singing and what the song is about. Good tune, good band. So, would this have been their only hit possibly? Maybe that's why I've never heard of them. Let's see. Oh yeah, and so sorry, man. I jumped right into this and I didn't read Vernon's opening note to me. Let me do that now. Vernon says, "Hi Wayne, this is a quad of a criminally unknown, underrated band called the Fabulous Rhinestones. I was fortunate to be able to catch them live back in the early 70s, and they put on a hell of a show. This quad has 2 songs from their album Freewheelin' and 2 songs from their own self-titled debut record. Hope you enjoy this quad and keep up the great work, Vernon." All right, Vernon. So let's hit up the bio of these guys here. And this is a artist bio by Bruce Eder of AllMusic. Bruce says, "The Fabulous Rhinestones were an R&B based band formed in San Francisco in '71 by ex-Illinois Speed Press guitarist and singer Cal David and ex-Electric Flag and Bob Dylan, Al Cooper, and Miles Davis bassist Harvey Brooks. They moved to Woodstock, New York, where they played with members of the band and some of their own fellow Chicago bluesmen, including Paul Butterfield, and were signed by producer Michael Lang, the co-producer of the Woodstock Festival, to his own Just Sunshine label. The group cut 3 LPs over the next 3 years, all of which received critical raves without selling in huge numbers. They also got considerable exposure playing on the same bill with the Allman Brothers, Stevie Wonder, and the Doobie Brothers, but their most visible gig was probably playing in '71 and in a '71 anti-war rally in New York with John Lennon and Yoko Ono. They split up in the mid-'70s, and David later played with Etta James, Al Cooper, and Johnny Rivers. The Fabulous Rhinestones work has been compiled for reissue on CD in the 21st century." All right, so that is band information. So some very important notes there. It seems that they didn't have really good marketing based on the labels that they might have been linked to from there, and that they split up in the mid-'70s, right in the middle of that great Renaissance period of creativity, as I call it, when everybody was firing on all cylinders, where you had to stay together, man. And they split up right in the middle of that. So yeah, man, that to me is the golden age of opportunity that you gotta be together if you're gonna be considered a household name and a legendary band now looking back. It's just as if you missed the opportunity in the British invasion. I remember the story of the Kinks. Thankfully, the Kinks had a tremendous amount of songwriting, creativity, and all of that stuff where they made a rebound, but they could have really missed out on a great opportunity in that they were screwed over by management and bookings and all of these things. And they were literally, when they should have been playing gigs on stage and rubbing shoulders with the Beatles, they were being screwed over by management, and they were basically a bunch of teenage kids in America just left to run wild on their own for a while type of thing, you know. But thankfully the Kinks recovered. Even though they didn't get a lot of British invasion exposure that they should have. But I'm thinking about these guys here splitting up right in the middle of the 70s. Man, that is really getting a kick in the nuts hard and not being able to get up again. You know, that's how I'm visualizing it. If there's more to it than that, let me know, especially if you know the history about these guys. That's how I'm seeing their career advantages and disadvantages, though. All right, and you know what I'm going to do here? Because there's no Wikipedia or song fact info or all music info or anything at all that I'm seeing, Vernon, I'm just going to go back to the link that you sent me, and I'm just going to read a couple of testimonials from the comment section, the YouTube comment section of the song and the albums that you linked me to. But what I'll do is let's hit up the next song. I'll come back because the next song is on the same album, so it's basically information covering the whole album, and I'll do that with each successive song, seeing that there's no official write-up or anything like that about their music. All right, man, so let's check out our next track, man. And yeah, sorry, I just lost my way here. Yeah, Go With Change. That's our next track. The Fabulous Rhinestones. Go With Change. Let's get it. This is a different singer. Good singer. We talked about stretching out that song. Excellent. with change. All right. Excellent jam. Nice. Excellent extended jam. Incorporating some brass, not just a sexy sax, a little organ, and a really extended jam session in the middle, stretching out the song. And the bass groove, man, the bass work was the shit in that. And the singer's voice, whoever it was that's singing, different from the first song, Freewheelin'. Whoever that singer is, really dig his voice, man. Excellent, excellent track. Go with change. Okay, yeah, so with the fact that there's no Wikipedia information, has me at a slight loss because the formulation of my channels, it's based around Wikipedia, but we'll get by. Yeah, so read a little band intro, little band bio. So let's see. And this song, Go With Change, is also off of the Freewheelin' album. So let's see what some of the listeners on YouTube had to say. So, George Wallace says, I forgot what a great record and band this was. I was in a band back in the day that opened for the Rhinestones. Great musicians all. Interesting. Mary Switzer says, love this band in the 74 and 75. So fun to hear them again and relive my past. And Wrestling Guy says, the first two albums from the Rhinestones are among the best of the 70s. I first saw them in January of 73 at the Capitol Theater in Passaic, New Jersey, when they opened for Cheech and Chong. We lost Marty recently, but Cal and Harvey are still going strong. God bless the Rhinestones. Okay, now who was Marty? Which one? Let me just go back to their bio here. Marty, San Francisco. So Cal David and bassist Harvey Brooks. Okay, so Marty must have been the drummer. All right, and and so then Fair North says, about 40 years ago, one of my college classmates in Connecticut told me about this fantastic band called the Rhinestones, but I never heard their music on the radio stations. My sources of hearing music were limited, but now, here in 2018, we have YouTube. Tonight, I have the pleasure of hearing what he was talking about. The Rhinestones are magnificent, and it seems awful that they never became national superstars. This stuff is awesome. Thank you. Thank you, John, for this excellent tip. Thank you, Forgotten. Thank you. Okay, it's broken up here. Forgotten for the great post. Thank you. Yeah, that's broken up there. Not quite sure. And then I believe this is a response to Fair North saying, I found this album at the college bookstore in 76 on sale for $1. I thought the group was fantastic and still do. And yeah, so that's the comments for Freewheelin'. All right, man. So let's hit up our third track, and that being Positive Direction. All right, man. Fabulous Rhinestones. Positive Direction. Let's get it. Great vocals, these guys. Excellent vocals. Shades of Paul Rogers a little bit. They've got a bit of everything in this, man. Some organ, some piano. That is a complete song. And when I say complete, I mean it's got everything in it. All the great musicianship, great vocals, excellent theme or story being told. You understand the singer. And they incorporate almost everything in there. The only thing missing is the sexy sax, man. But you can't include the sexy sax in everything, especially when you have a blues rock platform like this. And the All Music guy described these guys as an R&B band. I think it's more fitting to describe them as a rock fusion band. A rock fusion like Santana, you know, the basic premise is rock and then there's a fusion of overlapping other things. But I think primarily it seems like their foundation is basically a rock band, and then there's a fusion of other elements that they incorporate. In this case, it's a perfect blues rock jam, you know? So that's how I would have described them. But, you know, who the hell am I? I'm not some professional music critic. So with that, I'll just say that that was an excellent track. So far, this one is my favorite of the three, but we've got one more to go. So Positive Direction, great tune. This would definitely make my playlist, man. And yeah, just going down into the comment section in YouTube here, it says just one comment: great blues. And I totally agree. Definitely some great blues and a great extended jam. Again, these guys, are a great jam band. And I remember Dave Matthews. Dave Matthews is being described as a great jam band, a jam fusion band. And I would describe these guys as the same, with more of a rock bass rather than an R&B bass. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just the selections that we're listening to. But then again, we've got one more to go. So let's check that out, man. And that being Free. The Fabulous Rhinestones, Free. Let's get it. This is using more of an R&B platform. This is the same singer from Go With Change. I dig his vocals. All right, now. So that is Free. Hey, these guys are really good, man. And yeah, and another thing too, right off the top when this song started, I can understand now why the All Music guy was saying that they are an R&B based band. I can see that being true, especially with this song "Free." I see it on another side as well. But basically, they are using both platforms, and hey, that's great. It's great to be that dynamic. So the big question that I've got is, and it's a theory, and so let me know if I might have any kind of credibility in this theory. It's a question I have for you, and this is my theory. With these guys being as good as they are, having all of the tools required to be successful talent-wise, songwriting-wise, musicianship-wise, vocals and all of that sort of thing, obviously it's not enough because they would have been big. But like I said, I don't know the details of what happened to them specifically, where marketing is concerned, where labels is concerned, how the industry might have gotten involved and tripped them up or whatnot. Maybe they didn't have a powerhouse like a Peter Grant in their corner like Led Zeppelin did. I don't know all of those infinite details, but the fact that they broke up in the middle of the 70s, man, that just seems to be a big, big red flag ringing some strong bells for me. And here is my theory. Let me know if I have any kind of credibility to this idea. A lot of bands, if you look at them, that enjoyed the biggest amount of success in the 70s, the Zeppelins, the Stones, all those great bands, and the bands that came around and jumped into the 70s with furiousness, like Queen and Aerosmith and bands like that, it seems to me that they already had a plan of how they were going to get through the 70s, how they were going to navigate through the 70s, how they were going to take it on. It's as if they had the entire 10 years of the 70s planned. You know what I'm saying? Correct me if I'm wrong with this. It's just a theory and an idea. But I'm getting the impression that the more successful bands already had a plan in the sense of maybe a succession of albums planned, and it just happened to be around that time period, going into the 70s, and this is how we were going to contribute to the sound of the 70s. We see that the 70s, from the 60s to the 70s, it's changing, and this is how we're going to go ahead with it. The Beatles were taping off in the late 60s. Cream was coming up. Led Zeppelin was coming up. Jimi Hendrix was coming up, and these particular sounds were going hard. Not just a hard rock sound, but there was also a very strong folk rock movement as well. And so these are the ways that we are going to address the 70s going forward. Fleetwood Mac's a really good example. They came about in the late 60s with Peter Green, and then they got into what's Bob's name? The middle 70s with Bob. Geez, I forgot Bob's last name. You know who I'm talking about. And then the Buckingham Nicks era came. And so I think that with Fleetwood Mac, especially the rhythm section, McVie and Fleetwood, they probably thought to themselves, let's put this together in a 10-year plan, getting through the 70s. Our sound is going to change, obviously, with the changing of the guard. So how are we going to take advantage of the momentum of the 70s? Let's do it this way. I think they might have had that conversation. So do you think that I'm even a little bit right? That a lot of bands who enjoyed the successes of the 70s had it somehow planned? A succession of albums, justifying their sound. Okay, this is a succession of albums, and this is going to be the platform of our sound going forward. Times were changing and pushing him in that direction. They saw those winds of change with the Beatles dwindling and then other bands rising, and they're like, okay, this is where everybody's going. So let's go in that direction too. This is the lineup of changes. This is the lineup of songs. Jefferson Airplane. All right, let's hit up the psychedelic sound. We got Grace joining our fold now, and so this is going to be our sound going forward. We're going to basically structure two lead singers vocalizing off of each each other, Marty and Grace, and we're going to go forward like this. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it seems that the 70s, for among a lot of the successful bands, seem to have had a plan going forward with it. Let me know if I'm right. Let me know. It's just an impression that I have now that I've done so many classic rock reactions and read so many bios and things of that sort. Led Zeppelin, for example, they knew that their launching pad was going to be the blues, and that they needed a little bit of time to formulate their writing style, and that they knew that they were going to change up as they went. So we've established ourselves. Now that we've got a powerful following, let's go in this direction. Let's go in this direction. So these are the things that we're going to throw out there in regards to getting into the 70s. So I don't know how much of a plan they had, but it seems that they had some sort of a track that they were going to run on. Let me know if I'm right about that. And looking at these lads here, you know, the Fabulous Rhinestones, breaking up in the middle of all of that, I think was probably the biggest wrench in the machine. What do you think about that? Because that completely tanks any kind of momentum or any kind of plan that they might have had, you know? So I think that ultimately that breakup in the 70s hurt them, hurt the fact that we never heard about them. They never had a chance to become household names, to become popular, and I think that was their biggest undoing. What do you think of that? Let me know what you think of that. So let me read a few more comments from YouTube, specifically about this song Free. Mark Hughes says, back in the day, 163rd Street, Miami, club had a $5 cover charge at the door. Amazing show. Okay. Seems like a piece of the sentence was missing. Jeanette says, damn, these guys are fantastic. This is real music for real. The good old days with Easy Street, love, and miss all you guys. All right. Sharp and Flat says, hello, Jeanette. I'm 66 years old and I bought this album around 40 years ago. This was 5 years ago that this writing happened. If my house burns down, all I want to save is this album and Willis Allen Ramsey's. Okay. Steven says, heard the Fabulous Rhinestones on WLIR in 74, bought the first album and then Free Willin'. I play that vinyl to reminisce and enjoy pure magic, musical magic. Okay. And so there you have it, man. A really good accounting of these guys from the public forum, you know, and that's what I like about YouTube. If you're unsure about something, if you want to learn something, if you want to get a marketing perspective, a consumer report, you go to YouTube because it's unfiltered and they will give you the real goods. If there's a business opportunity that seems too good to be true, you go onto YouTube and you check out the pros and the cons and the experiences of people who have actually tried it before. And so you've got a much better idea. You're not going into things blind. I really dig YouTube for that because there's a lot of great information in the public forum. And this is no exception, man. So all really, really good, positive, reviews and opinions about this band. And it's too bad that they, I guess, broke up in the 70s. I think that was probably the big part of their undoing, sadly. But all the same, they're still great. They're still great musicians, great singers, and a fantastic sound, and a great jam band, a jam fusion band. And I can see them rubbing shoulders with the likes of Dave Matthews on the same stage, the same concert ticket. That would be really cool. Anyways, hey man, that is my reaction and review to the Fabulous Rhinestones. Vernon, thank you very much for introducing me to something new. I appreciate that very much, man. I'm just checking my notes here before I bounce. Yeah, I got some reactions coming up this week for Devoid Zero, Robert, Ronaldino, and Alan. Got these reactions coming up for you lads this week. Apologies again, patrons. My life has been crazy busy and it's delayed delayed me by a week and a half. So thank you to some of you, not all, but to some of you who have not pestered the shit out of me. I appreciate that very much. So, yeah, man, the Fabulous Rhinestones. I definitely like to check out more of their stuff because I really like the whole extended jam fusion sound, from their rock blues bass, and then they've got an R&B bass. So yo, man, all good, and I really liked how they utilize so many instruments in their lineup of jamming. So I would definitely check out more of their stuff. Vernon, thank you again. All right, everybody, you guys have yourselves a good week. Take care, and I will catch you in my next reaction. Peace.